Here we go.
I am ready. Good morning, everyone. And it is really awesome to be back on the calls. It's kind of like we look forward to our daily calls, and when they're not there, it's like, oh my gosh, what do I do in that time period, right? So you got to fill that in, fill that gap in. So if you're not at the event, fill the gap in with something that's producing an income for you. What kind of green light, right? Debbie's got the motion. It's called pick up the phone. Yeah, there. So we're going to talk about some ahas, but I want to start off by first of all saying thank you guys that are on the call. Love to hear your ahas. Here's the thing about going to any massive event. First of all, they get us motivated, right? We hear great things. We meet awesome people. By the way, I've never been to a huge event like I was with Keller Williams for 17 years. And the only time I ever got an opportunity to say hi to Gary Keller is when I was in a smaller mastermind or anything. Glenn Stanford was walking the halls, taking pictures. He had lunch with Claire Autry. He was very engaged in the hallway. Never shied away from talking to anyone or taking a photo. That was a huge aha for me. Here's an individual who's a billionaire running a massive company and still made time to interact with us. That was a huge aha for me. So anytime that you go to a major event like this, who here that was there took a lot of notes, right? We took a lot of notes. So what I want to talk about is how do we become effective with the notes? How do we become effective with everything that we heard, learned, and everything else? Well, I've learned through all the years, all the events I've ever been to, is narrow down all your notes into one or two things, preferably one, and take action on that one thing. Forget about the rest. Matter of fact, rip it up, throw it away. Take all your notes and consolidate it into one thing that you're going to take action on, because we heard a variety of people speak. We heard amazing speakers. What about the guy with no legs and a quarter of an arm on one side and a full arm on the other, right? So take all your notes, consolidate them, and take one thing and implement and take action. If you do that, you'll thrive. So I'd like to just start off. This is your call today. All those who attended the shareholders meeting, I'd love to hear your aha, what you're going to take action on. And by sharing your aha, it's going to help the others that didn't go, or the ones that did that couldn't get into whatever room. The biggest aha I got, the biggest one that I got was this. Are you fighting for your family? Right? What Brent talks about in that, and it's in the movie The Cinderella Man, are you fighting for milk? Are you fighting to build wealth and financial freedom for your family? Are you being radical enough to succeed? And what he talks about is I worked my butt off for 17 months and now I'm retired. He said, I was extremely radical. I worked 17 months and now I'm retired. Everything else I do is because I love it. Right? All the speaking he does, all the training he does, all the events he does. Be radical. And what are you fighting for? And do that. Because when we come into a situation of needs, or we're in a desperate situation, we've hit rock bottom somehow, some way. If we're not being radical, how do we expect to get through it, right? So huge aha there about being radical. And if you haven't seen the movie Cinderella Man, you should watch it. You know, it's about a boxer, true story, in the 1910s, 20s. And it has so many life meanings through it that it will give you some perspective on your big why, right? We just think everything's all great right now. But I'm telling you right now, agents are suffering and they are scared. By the way, does anybody know what an ELOC is? It's called an equity line of credit. Do you know Wells Fargo stopped doing them? One of your major banks doesn't care if you have $1 million in equity in your property, they're not going to give you an equity line of credit. They'll refinance you, but they're not going to give you an equity line of credit. So guys, right now, be radical on your lead gen, be radical on your purpose, be radical about everything that you do to make a difference for you and your family. So that was my biggest aha out of the event. And not only that, I got to spend time with some amazing people that are on this call right now that were there, that were engaged. I just never felt that connection, that love, and the great people that were there. And by the way, if you're ever around Bobby and George at an event, all you have to do is nudge Bobby to mess with George while he's speaking. It's funny as can be. So I'm going to open it up. Those of you who were there, I'd love to hear an aha and what the impact it made on you and what action you're going to take. And yeah, let's open this up, because there was millions. There was so many different things there that are going to propel us forward. So,
well, if you don't mind me jumping in, because I got to jump off, I got to go to a closing, and I got to shower first. I'm going to say that.
Hey, Bobby, you're muted. I don't know how that happened.
Bobby, I had no control over that. I have no idea why George would do that to you.
I didn't. He's muted, though. Unmute yourself, Bob.
I thought you did it, George.
Just
Nope.
still muted, Bobby.
No, he's not. Now he's playing.
I'm going to be quick. So a couple of things, and the group that I had, and I was fortunate enough that a lot of the people that work with me closely were all there. Most of them were there. Attending these events gives you an opportunity to do a few things. One, see the bigger picture of what this company that we chose to become a part of is. It is very easy to get stuck in the mundane of our own personal lives. And it's even easier for those that are consistent on these 8:30 calls to not see much past GPS. And EXP is huge. And, when you go to these events, and if you actually truly immerse yourself into them, attend the seminars or the sessions, you pick up a little something here, and they're not all going to help you, but you're going to pick up a little something here and a little something there. And you never know who you're going to sit next to at lunch if you sit with random people and make a serious connection. And that I had the opportunity to do that a couple of times. And I can't really stress enough how important it is as the market shifts, as real estate gets tougher, as some people on this call might start questioning their commitment to real estate full time. I have to tell you that it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier if you realize the bigger picture and everybody that's going through it and what the company offers. The grass isn't always greener on the other side. The biggest nugget that I took away, and it doesn't matter what phase you are in your career, whether you're brand new and you have a mentor, or you've been in it, 20 years like Deep and I think it's important to always have a real estate coach or a coach at something. Even professional basketball players don't just have their head coach, they have private coaches. Tiger Woods has a swing coach. And, who's going to teach Tiger Woods how to swing a club? Well, somebody does. And I absolutely believe that it's important to have somebody that holds you accountable and think outside the box. Have somebody else look at the way that you're approaching your business, your day-to-day, and give you tweaks, give you different ideas. Red, you're such a hater, but that's fine. I read your message there, buddy. And honestly, they just opened up Vegas, and it's expensive, right? Because you got to fly to Vegas, you got to get a hotel. And I'm going to tell you something, guys. very few things that I always encourage people to, go to this seminar and go to that one and go to this one. You spend all your time in stupid seminars and trainings, but there's a few that really are important. And I got to tell you that I truly believe in the ones that EXP holds, because they bring together such amazing group of realtors that are actually selling nationwide, and they put them all throughout in different rooms that give different information. I mean, I left there thinking I knew nothing about real estate, to be honest with you. I left there after a good handful of people that I was able to have real conversations with, what they do, how they approach their business, their systems. I actually had more notes from one-on-one table conversations than I even did in some of the breakout sessions. And I was sitting next to people. Deep and I had breakfast with, a guy who survived cancer and now, does $50 million a year personally, plus his team, and I'm sitting there absorbing every word that comes out of his mouth, like, wow, and I've been doing this long enough that I just realized there's always a better way. There's a new way. And my personal takeaway was attending. That's it. Attending, realizing that there's more to learn, different ways to approach your day-to-day, your systems, and having an idea of where you see yourself over the next 12, 24 months, and what is your game plan to get there. So honestly, for those of you that went, I'm sure you all took something away. And for those of you who didn't, you really did miss an opportunity. And there's no way around it. You missed an opportunity. Go to Vegas. And next year, go to the Shareholders. The Shareholders is always here in Orlando, but this event cannot be reduplicated. There isn't enough Facebook videos or enough of these Zoom calls to really tell you what happened, to really show you what was the experience, make you feel the experience, and the little things that aren't even recorded anywhere, like our breakfast conversations with mega agents. I've got a whole game plan now of reapproaching my business based on these side conversations. So thank you for a few minutes. I've got to run. Tom, thanks
Bobby,
for giving me the floor. Yes, sir.
Bobby, I just got a couple little questions for you that are real quick answers, just yes or no, and that's fine. Is this an investment or a financial burden to go to these events?
It's neither.
It's neither, right?
It's neither, because Uncle Sam pays for my trips.
Exactly, because here's the thing: if you don't invest in your education, you'll invest in the IRS, right?
Right.
So go to these events. It is an
Absolutely.
investment. So the other question I have, Bobby, is you're a very busy guy, right? You're an icon agent, right?
Yes.
And you found the time to go, right?
Well, I made the time to go.
You made the time because there was value there.
Right.
So when someone says I'm busy, we're all busy. Find the time, make the time, because it's going to better you. Now we got Bobby here, who's been in the business a long time, who took away a lot of getaways and feels that everything he learned, he feels like a new person, right? So thank you for sharing today, Bobby. And I know you got to go. That was awesome. Thanks for your
Thank you,
contribution
Tom.
to this.
Thank you to all of you. And for those of you that were there, I really enjoyed my time with you, enjoyed connecting with you guys, even the ones that are here in Orlando. We never see each other enough. It was good to just sit and have a meal, have a drink, see each other, and really connect. I mean, we had a pretty cool picture for George, made George feel like, like some superstar that he's not. But, I think there was about 8 icons on a stage under the GPS banner, which is pretty cool. I mean, we were all there, and just being in an entire room with icons, seeing the future of the company, and knowing that we're all doing this together. We're growing together. Half the people on that stage were first-time icons. I've done it 4 times. It's easier to do it once you've done it, but once you've got to do it that first time. And those that have done it the first time, you have a mindset now, right? You're like, I'm not going back. I'm going to be in this room every meeting. I'm going to be here every time. Bill Bliss is on fire, right? He got his icon award. The guy's not looking back. Same thing with Deep, and I'm lucky to be part of this group, lucky to have been there. But for those of you who did it, you missed an opportunity. Take what I'm saying now to tell you, we're not going to be able to duplicate that entire meeting. You have to attend. And when you get there, break out of your shell. I can tell you this, I didn't stick around GPS. I stuck around anybody. I just sat next to people. And if I had the opportunity to meet somebody and talk to somebody, I did. And now my head is spinning because I got to figure out, how did I not know what I did not know? It's like, I'm serious. I'm thinking here like, holy shit. I really didn't know a lot. People are approaching business in a lot better way, more productive ways, and their production's unstoppable. And now that the market's transitioning, we all have to be smarter about our business, where we're putting our marketing dollars, where we're putting our time and our efforts. And by attending this meeting, I learned enough things that I can tweak my schedule, tweak my systems, and keep me without having to fear or even see a dip in my business, because I'm gonna make the changes that I learned and apply them immediately. So, and I think that's the big thing, Tom, is making sure that anything we talk about, anything we preach, it doesn't matter if you hear it, it's, you've got to apply it. You got to apply it immediately. Don't procrastinate, apply immediately.
Hey, Bobby.
Awesome.
Thank you for the
Thank you,
time.
Bobby.
All right,
Appreciate
guys.
it. Fred,
Hey, Tom,
Fred,
I'm gonna jump. Yeah, I'm gonna
good to
jump in
see
there.
you.
Hey, good, man. Hey, by the way, George, no more I want you to publicly apologize for all the comments about I sold houses to Moses. I'm the only one that really survived that little COVID going around there. No, just kidding.
You're
Anyway.
still, well, just because you're an Iron Man doesn't mean you didn't sell Moses houses. Seriously.
Hey, anyway, guys, listen, just quickly, Bobby, thank you, man. That was great. Hey, the number one is not going to something like this is not natural, okay? Because growth is natural. We're creators, and it's easy to grow. It's so easy to grow, but it's easy not to. And there's no decision whether you should go to Vegas or not. There's just consequences. Whoever didn't go to Shareholders, you paid a big consequence. You really did. And this is not criticism. It's not, because we got to grow. We got to understand this. I mean, growth is natural, right? I just, every time I hear somebody look at a kid that they hadn't seen in a year and a half and go, oh my gosh, I can't believe what happened to you. Look how big you are. What do you want them to do? Stay the same size? Growth is natural. If you don't grow, you don't force yourself to get into these kind of environments, then you're doing what's unnatural to your own character, to your own existence as co-creators. That's number one. Number two is that with EXP Realty, and for those that on the call that are not with EXP Realty, if you're comfortable where you are, just ask yourself, what did I pay my broker? If it's less than what you could pay here, then you need to go get a raise today, number one. Number two is you need to look at this thing more seriously. The thing that I took away, again, that I always take away, by the way, don't ever sell EXPI stock, whatever you do, hold it, is that how big of a thing that part of what we are. It's the Amazon, right? It's definitely the Amazon. There is no other Amazon. There's competitors, but they're never going to be Amazon. It's impossible. What they're doing with success, when they bought that magazine, I said, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see what they're going to do with that. Well, it was revealed, and they're doing to the coaching industry, which by the way, is a big industry. A lot of people don't realize it. They're doing to the coaching industry what they did to the real estate industry. They have started an entire plan, just like ours, 80-20 splits, and they're going to get people certified because it's so unregulated, number one. Number two, everyone says they're a coach, but they don't really develop the skills. Well, there's nobody better than Success. They've been doing it for 130 years. And a lot of times we don't realize we coach some of the most successful CEOs and business people in the world. So that's all exposure to EXP Realty. But the coaching industry is going to be a part of our opportunity. Anybody it's a coach. Debbie, where are you? I have first grabs on you. We're going to talk about you becoming Success certified in your mind. Sorry, Tom. No kidding. But anyway, we're all going to get paid.
We're all growing.
we're all going to get paid on the rev share, just like we do there. But again, it's not the rev share. It's not that, but it's all of it put together. When they announce what's going on with Verbella and the people that they've gotten involved in Verbella now, watch what comes with these iframes. And I mean, we are heading up and leading the metaverse, and companies are joining us at $100,000 a clip. Okay, so what you're a part of is so big, and you can't get that from your living room. You can't get that from a Zoom call. You've got to go to Vegas. You've got to go to Vegas.
We are built for this, Fred.
We're built for it. That's it.
We were built. Inman said this morning, EXP is built for this market.
I got to catch that one. I missed that.
Yep. It says it right as a headline.
Well,
EXP,
I know.
is
Yeah.
built for this business.
I'll tell you what, if you're interested in attraction, I mean, this week I have 3 that have joined us. I don't know, is Michelle on the call? Michelle, you here from Brady? I've never had it so, I don't say easy, but the people that are joining us now get it. So you need to get out and just tell the story. And some of you, like yesterday, Cheryl Rickard, are you on? She just brought a young person in, business degree. Yeah, I mean, the person she just brought on yesterday, Annie, oh my gosh, a business degree, sharp, entrepreneurial. She's had dog walking businesses, equestrian, caring businesses. The best people are not in this business. You are a part of something so big. Please, 50 millionaire real estate agent, read that immediately. Commit to this. This growth is natural. And then please book Vegas. It's $700. Get it now. Don't even think about it. Take a breath. Go borrow $700 if you don't have it. Register, then get your flight later. Okay, and book your hotel later.
Yeah, I was looking at some stuff, you know, on progression of how to buy a house, all these different things, right? If there's one thing we can give up or cut down in half, right? So I said to this one young man one time, he says, I can't afford to go to the conference. I said, and he's outside smoking a cigarette, right? And I said, well, why don't you cut down from 2 packs a day to 1 pack a day, and then you can afford to go, because a pack of cigarettes is $9 to $10, which can give you about $300 a month. You're spending $600-700 a month to kill yourself. Why don't you spend $600 or $700 a month to enhance yourself to be there for your family? That didn't go over too well for him, but I guess I'm on my I redid my assessment, and my mouth gets in the way sometimes. I just say it how I see it, and that's it. So guys, build is also coming up, and to be honest with you, if you can't go for whatever reason, life gets in the way, I understand that part. But if it's about money, you got to find a way. We got to find a way, because if your car broke down today, you're gonna find a way to get it fixed. So it's an investment, and I find it as an investment. You either invest in yourself or invest in the IRS. Hey, Krista, I see your hand up.
Hi, everybody. Yes, I'm going into an appointment, so I have a few minutes. So basically, this is my second event with EXP, big event, and my takeaway was that I'm so grateful to be at EXP, because it is positioned to be, you know, to make us great in this market. There's no question. I have no question about that. So I'm grateful for that, for everything that they give us, the tools and the masterminds and people that surround us. The other thing is that I was intentional, like Bobby. I mean, I love all of you guys, and I did see a lot of you there and chatted for a few minutes, but I was intentional about meeting people. And I'm not an outgoing person, or, you know, I'm introvert. I'd rather stay home and not talk. But, you know, I'm in this extrovert business, right? So I had to force myself to go out and sit in an uncomfortable situation and introduce myself at lunch, you know, go find a place. And I met so many great people. I made so many great connections. That was, you know, a goal of mine, to meet all these people that I follow on social media and introduce myself and ask questions. So that whole, and they're just normal people, right? I had this idea that these were, you know, kings and queens of social media or luxury markets or whatever. And they're just like me. They're very humble. They're very willing to help and very approachable. So I loved that. And then I also, the third takeaway for me is that everybody does things differently. Whether, you know, you want to attack social media, or you want to do door knocking, or, you know, your attraction is different from somebody else. Everybody's different. You just have to be you and be authentic to who you are, and just follow that path. So I hope that's, you know, helpful to everybody.
Krista, thank you so much for sharing. It was great seeing you also there.
Great seeing you, Tom.
And being purposeful, right? Like Bobby mentioned before, if we're not utilizing the company EXP and what it has to offer, we're missing the true opportunity. Some of the lead generation tools that are coming out that Glenn Sanford's putting in place and positioning for us is massive. The relocation certification, if you don't do that, you're missing an opportunity. If you don't get express offers certified, you're missing an opportunity. If you're not doing the commercial training, you're missing an opportunity. It's free. This is it's all part of what we pay for. So I was blown away where you know, the caring and the sharing, but not only that, we have the ability to get in the best training classes through that virtual world. Take advantage of that, because you don't have to travel somewhere to get an amazing education on something. You log into the virtual world and you're being trained by the best in the business. So 100% agree with what Bobby said earlier. Get engaged in the EXP models. Get engaged in the workplace. Get engaged in the world. See what the company offers and run with these things. We got more lead generation resources in our KV core than you can ever imagine. We just have to learn, right? And it doesn't take much. So thanks for sharing. There's a lot more people on here that were there that took a ton of notes and tons of photos, and even did some TikToks and some reels and whatever those things are called, hashtag things and all that stuff. But here's you know, open up. Come on, guys. Come on, share your ahas and what you learned from this event.
Tommy,
Stevie boy.
good morning, sir. And I'll try to be quick, real quick. Morning, everybody. So some of the biggest things for me, it was incredible. And I'll start off with a quick story. I was on a care call yesterday, and just being around you guys, rather than being on my own as an independent broker, just being a part of this company for the last year and a half, the changes that I've tried to make. I called a client yesterday.
You didn't try, Steve. The transformation in your leadership is you can't see it yourself, but we can see it.
I appreciate you saying that, sir. I try to put out some content. I know social media, I'm not the greatest, but I'm getting better. But I had a client talk to me yesterday. I made a care call, and he said, Steve, if you didn't, you know, put out some of the things, I read one of your posts or I interacted with you, I can't remember what, and he goes, I did something, I stepped outside the lines for myself, and I picked up a new account out of Tampa, and now we're dealing with 300 pools for on a new account. And just to hear those stories, I know, you know, in the beginning, I used to hear people say, well, the greatest gift for me is to see how I help others and give back. And I used to think, what a load of hoopla. But when you hear those stories and somebody says that to you, just the impact that makes on you, knowing that you made that impact on somebody else, was incredible. So I just wanted to say that real quick. Beliefs holding you back. What new thing would you be willing to give a try if you didn't worry about people's opinion? What new thing would you be willing to give a try if you didn't worry about people's opinions? And then we want to be viewed as something before we do the work to become it. Two more things, just two more belief things that I picked up from one of the sessions. The belief that we have to become someone else. And then obviously the belief that we have to care about what people say. So those are my takeaways. Thank you, Tom.
Yeah, and Steve, let me ask you a couple questions as well. Are you an icon agent?
I am, sir. Yep.
And are you very busy in your real estate business, day-to-day activities?
I would say so, yeah.
And did you find the time or make the time to go to this event and spend it and enjoy it?
Absolutely. And I'm going to build, and I'm going to Vegas.
And you know what? I'm just going to speak because I know when I first met Steve, he didn't want to go to these things.
No, I did not. It's not my deal. I may seem like it, but I'm not good in social situations. It's not my favorite thing to do, but you got to plug in, put yourself in those situations and get involved. That's it.
Well, there's a special thank you to Fred, to Steve Pugh, to Laura, to Nikki for riding that big roller coaster I wouldn't ride with my daughter. So, you know, guys, thank
Kudos to Nikki too.
Hey, Tom, I'm glad you brought up roller coaster. You know what's interesting with Steve? Now, Steve, let me ask you this. Are you an icon agent because you go to those meetings, or do you go to those meetings because you're an icon agent? Which comes first? Well, you know, look, folks, you know, you may say, well, yes, he's an icon agent. He has the money. He does it. It's the attitude that got him to be the icon agent. It's the attitude. I've got to go and keep learning. I'm green and growing. And if you didn't go, and if you don't go to Vegas, I don't care how you want to debate it with me. You are ripe and you are rotting. You will rotten because there's no way, either you're green and growing, and that's the only way to become an icon agent. CRSs in this country are an average of 112,000 or whatever the number is. The average real estate agent that is ripe and rotting earns 42,000. So everybody on this call, you ought to become a CRS. You ought to go to these meetings. You've got to keep doing what Steve's doing and Bobby and all these icon agents. And like Krista, you're talking about busy. Oh my gosh. And it's so they're not icon agents because they went there. They're icon agents because of their attitude. They go there because of their attitude. So a CRS is a certified residential specialist by the National Association of Realtors. Look it up. The average, what they earn versus average agent. Keep being green and growing, man. Green and growing.
Yeah,
Thank you, Steve.
you're so true. So true, Fred. And by the way, guys, I want you to understand, just because you're not an icon agent and your ultimate goal is just to sell 5 or 6 million a year or whatever that is, still the relationships you build, the people that I met this this gentleman, his name is Omar from New Jersey. He was with Remax and he's got a team of 8. And I said, who's your referral partner in Florida? He goes, you know what? I don't have one. I've been trying to find one. Guess who his referral partner in Florida is? We were just talking to him and his family and his young son, getting to learn more about them and their business. And by the way, he does about 65 million in sales a year. And he sends out at least 2 referrals per month to the state of Florida to people he doesn't know. He just puts it on Facebook because he doesn't have a referral partner, by the way, and he does that in workplace. So it was the people that you meet, the people that we get to meet. It was pretty cool. I got to hug Kara and I met her for the first time, right? and so many more of you that are on these, I feel like I've known you forever, and building a relationship in person also is a huge aha. Go ahead, Kara. I see your hand up.
Good morning, everybody. It was so nice to meet so many of you, and I'm sorry so many of you got COVID. Apparently we like to share so much with each other that we just pass around COVID. So what a team.
Well, you got to share.
Yeah, I'm not an icon agent yet. I will be. I've only been with EXP since February, so I thought it'd be nice to kind of hear from someone who's not an icon agent. Kind of piggybacking off what you were saying is going out and meeting people that you need referral partners for. So us as realtors, that's a big part of our job and a big part of our income. So if you feel confident in blindly passing a referral off in Washington State to somebody you've never met before, I don't feel good about that. I would love to connect with someone at one of these events and say, hey, I vetted this person for you. I highly recommend them. So referral is a huge part of our business. So that is actually, I feel our job to be at these events and network for our clients, because they're going to need agents in other parts of the country and the world that they don't know. Another thing that I took away was, as realtors, we're communicators and connectors. Even if we're introverts, a large part of our job is still being communicative, right? And making sure our clients feel comfortable in every part of the transaction. So to go to these events, that's being a communicator and a connector. Again, it's part of your job description as a realtor to keep enriching yourself and continuing your education, right? So these events are a no miss for me because I know the importance of them. Last year, I did $4.2 million of my closed transactions. That's not what I closed, but 4.2 million was inbound referrals from agents. I sourced over 5 million in gross commission in referrals. So referrals are a huge part of your business, whether you know it or not. And if you're not tapping into that and networking with people around the country, including our group, and like Bobby said, it's easy to just get like honed in on the GPS network and say, we've got this amazing group of, 800 agents now. There's so much more to EXP than our group. Even though I think our group is the best, there's still so much more. If you go look at the agent directory in our GPS group often, and you get familiar with who we have where, you have a tool, right? If you wear a fanny pack, you can always pull a tool out for your clients and say, I know someone here. So expand your network. Don't rely on the GPS group, even though everyone there is fantastic. The last thing for me was the systems breakout on the first day. One of the speakers mentioned, if you do something more than twice in your transaction, you need a system for it. So similarly to like checking into the hotel, you wouldn't just walk into the lobby and the front desk say, hey, welcome here, go find your room. There's a system. You go to the front desk, you give them your driver's license and credit card, you get your room key, they tell you where the elevator is. So icon agent or not, if you're not working on your systems, and if you can't go to these events or step out to the beach for a weekend and people not know you're missing, then, or if people know you're missing, then your systems need to be tweaked. So it's not too early, I think, from the ground up to make sure your systems are a work in progress and they are a well-oiled machine. So that's what I got.
Kara's great stuff, Kara. You're exactly right. One of the things that, just going off of that, is I don't know if I've shared it before, but it's probably, I don't know, it's at least, I've been in EXP 5 years, and I know I've done it at least 4 times every year. And it's led to 25%. It's like, hey, Deep, you know what? I know you guys are moving to Pensacola. Let me go vet. I'm going to vet probably 3 real estate agents up there in Pensacola, and you interview them. But I know this, they're going to be a person. You're going to have 3 names of people who sell 30, 40, 50 houses in that market, and they're going to be an expert in there. I just don't want you going with anybody that you don't know. If you use them, great. If not, great. It's just a service I provide. And I'll have those 3 people to you here in about 2 days. How does that sound, Deep? And it usually is very, very welcome. And you're exactly right. Workplace, do a search on their city and read their bio. If they don't put in a bio, you don't know much about them. And they're actually going to self-select. They're real estate agents, right? So you're going to call them and say, hey, I've got a referral. I'd like to speak with you about that. Well, guess what? 2 of them aren't even going to call you back. Or one of them, the two won't call you back. 1 will. And obviously those aren't the people you want to give to your client. You want the person that's hungry, and you're going to find an icon. You're going to find someone who's really, really good out there. So, and it's a great service you provide. Don't let that money go. Kara, you did great, right? You made some moolah there.
Yeah, definitely take time, vet the people that you are referring out. You want to make sure that the personalities match for the buyer as well as the agent. Like you said, if they're not going to call you back for a referral for a potential money-making opportunity in the future, they're not going to call your client back, and then you're going to get a bad rep when they want to refer you out to their friends around here. So make sure you do the vetting, and everybody's very happy.
So who believes Kara is going to be an icon agent? Raise your hand. And I'm going back to Steve. Steve was an icon 8-9 months ago. With the value he was adding to this group, etc. He was an icon agent before he ever got the official title. And if I can just kind of touch base with you guys on a couple things that hit me. I became an icon this year. It's been wonderful. It was a great process, but man, when I look back, I was blessed. Some people would say lucky. It was my referral group. It was my sphere. I do work my sphere pretty well. And as George will tell you, I chase a lot of shiny objects when I'm not going after my sphere, right, George? And I have not scratched the surface of my potential, and it's probably been a struggle of mine, and going to be real transparent with you for a lot of my time as a real estate agent. I haven't scratched the surface because I don't have systems that are good enough. I don't have systems that and my process is I'm great with people, and that wins a lot of things. But my efficiencies are very, very lacking, and I'm not being arrogant at all, but it's just sometimes when I see people up on stage, I'm like, you know what? If they can do it, I can do it. That's what happened when I listened to Brent Gove I don't know, 5 years ago on my back porch, having a scotch and a cigar, talking about open houses on some old recording. I was like, if this guy can do this, I can do it. And talked to George and went out and did it. Right, George? We got the first signs, I think, ever. Right. And our big quote unquote ugly yellow signs. And but the thing is I haven't done it. So yeah, I think I can do it. I know I can do it. I just haven't scratched my potential. And I look at every one of your guys, everybody in here, and the people that I've met this weekend. I mean, just the potential, the quality of your quality, are just people I want to be around. And you've got it, right? I mean, if other people can do it, you can do it. If other people can do it, we can do it. Right? We've all got the skills. It's just that decision. It's not owed to you. It's not owed to me. No one's going to do it for you. No one's going to do it for me. We got to go get it. And I'm excited to go get it with you.
That's awesome. Bill, thanks for sharing. It was great to see you also. And I apologize, but we lost power where I'm at, and my Wi-Fi went out, so I had to get it on my cell phone. So Kara, thank you for sharing. Steve, thanks for sharing. Bobby Baldor. Everything that we do on these calls is for you guys as the agents and to help support you and also better ourselves. Because here's the thing, if we as leaders on these calls for you guys, and by the way, you're all leaders, right? In your business, in your home and everything else. If we're not going out doing all these things, how are we going to provide any value to you? And why would this call even be of value to you? Right? So for the ones who are taking the time to be on this call and even share with us, we're forever grateful for you guys because it helps each and every one of us. Each and every one. So anybody else have what they want to share about the event?
Hey, Bill.
That hasn't spoken?
Bill, congratulations that haven't spoken. Now I feel like I should shut up. Bill, congratulations, man. Nothing to do with luck. That was all you. So
that's
never
exactly
say it's
right,
luck.
Bill.
The shiny object thing, we struggle with it. We all experience the same problems. I have the same challenges. We've got to really knuckle down and get granular on what is distracting you, what is taking up mind space, and what are the things you can focus on to make that biggest impact, and try to avoid disconnected thinking. If we can just get that in our schedule daily and time block that out, what's going to make the biggest impact? I think that's half the battle. And we just focus on that 20%, IPA, income producing activities, you know? So anyway, that's my challenge, instead of going all over the place, because I'm guilty too. So
Steve, I think we all are.
no, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
we
but
all
think
have.
of what, if myself and Bill didn't do that, how much more we could accomplish. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
that's
I'm
exactly-
probably running and I don't want to sound like an arrogant bastard, but I'm probably running at 80%. I mean, if I was running at 120, man, I'm telling you, watch out. You know?
There certainly are those of us who are absolutely exceptional at commencing great programs and not finishing them, and there are certainly others of us who are very, very good at the shiny object thing, a whole lot better than others. I wish I was more of a D who got it done like right away, because that's just not me. Maybe it's because I'm old and 55 or older, or getting older and 55. You know, it's all up here, man. It's all mental. Got to go get it because our family deserves it. You guys deserve it. You deserve me at my best. You deserve Steve at his best. You deserve George at his best, and he's always given it. And Tom, and people need us, right? People need Tom Martin. People need Stephanie, right? They need you, Nicole, Ali. They need you. You're the only person that's gonna reach them. You are so stinking needed, Ali, that you're the only person that can reach some of the clients that you reach. It's not going to be me. It's not going to be Deep. It's you. And just go give yourself away. You don't have to be anybody else. We don't have to be Gogo Bethke. We don't have to be whomever. Be like they've talked about, just be your authentic self. You don't have to be something or make people think you're something else. Just be you, because you're
Right.
enough. You're enough.
100%.
Hey, Bill, real quick, they bought me this and put it on my desk, and I can't figure out why. I don't know why. Yeah, so I don't know what that means. I gotta ask somebody.
Wow, that's awesome. Stephanie.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I just wanted to say thank you guys for sharing. Thank you so much. That was awesome. I got so much from not being there. I mean, I can feel the energy from everyone that went. That I understand that the words can't express how it was to be there with everyone and to connect. And I appreciate you guys sharing about every nugget. Now I'm definitely going to look into being a relocation specialist, because I do that anyway. I mean, it's nice to be able to go after something. And another thing that I got from you guys is to find one thing and, attack that. So I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys sharing so much. I appreciate the love. Tom, everyone, Steve, Tony, everyone, Fred. I appreciate you guys so much.
There's so many leaders in this call that are not speaking up on these calls, and we would love to hear from you guys. So many. By the way, I'm not an icon. I have an icon. I'm here just under 2 years, and it's actually by choice, because I don't really care to focus on sales. My wife does. My number one focus is to bring value to our group and help other agents see the value in this company. Again, 17 years with a former company, and never, ever did I ever. And by the way, I went to literally in the 17 years, I went to over 100 conferences and masterminds, probably. And I never, ever felt the way I felt at this, with the connection to people, with the sharing and caring, and all kinds of stuff. Now, there's great conferences with other companies, don't get me wrong, but never anything like this from all different perspectives.
Tom,
Absolutely amazing.
I think a lot of that vibe that we get, and I made a post about it on my Facebook page, is that the company that I was previously with, which is like a red and white company, they actually incentivize its agents to attend events like this, right? So you didn't hear anybody in our group saying, if you get your ticket by X date, we'll reimburse you $450 after your first 2 closings, right? So our agents want to be in attendance. And I think EXP posted the numbers yesterday. It was less than 1% of our entire network in attendance at the event, which is also about our numbers that we see on these calls every day, is less than 1%, right? So Stephanie, I love that you couldn't attend, yet you're on this call. So that means that you're reaching for it. So I love that. And also, the way that we're influencing you to be inspired is the same way that we influence other agents by attraction. So us sharing our nuggets and our experiences is the same way we do this outside of our group and our organization to attract other agents. So keep sharing and keep throwing up all the nuggets on everybody, because people are listening, especially now.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Kara, for sharing that. You know what I heard on stage also is we. It's a we, not my company, not our. It's a we, because as an agent with EXP, you are a shareholder and you are a partial owner of this company, and you have a say. See, with other companies, they do the saying and you do the doing. All I heard was we are going to grow this. We together as a group are going to be, we're made for this. We're made for any market. We're built for this. We are going to do it. We are going to accomplish great things. I didn't hear, I have a plan for us to create great things. It was a we factor. That was pretty impressive to me.
It was so much a we factor that the first full day after the day of registration, X Camp was determined by agents. So they invite the agents to come into a common area, and us as agents, we as agents voted on the topics that we wanted to learn about. It wasn't planned prior to that. So If a company puts we at the forefront, it's EXP. They literally said, you guys get to decide what we talk about for the next 2.5 hours, or was it 1.5 hours? And that's it. That's what we'll talk about.
Kara, did you get a picture with the founder of this company?
No, I did not.
You were scared to go up to him or something when you were like, I didn't want to
No,
know.
I think that's not my nature, but I think I was blushing a little bit. I don't know. It's weird.
So did you ever get to see Gary Keller in the setting that we got to see Glenn Sanford at the the opening reception? No, because and I don't want to speak nasty against him, but it was, hey, I'm here, goodbye, I'm not coming in to interact with you guys.
Exactly. I mean, I think, yeah, the reach, in fact, is Veronica the #1 agent in the world? She spoke on the first day about EXP Latino Network. She 3 years ago said that she went to her first shareholder summit. She said she was going to be #1. She's #1 in the world for EXP agents. I shared a little picture of her on stage and kind of gave a little background to my Instagram stories. Would you know, one, we have Liz in our network, who's a great ally for the Latina networks, but would you know, a mega team here that was with Remax briefly went to like an independent brokerage, messaged me and said, oh my word, you have that huge of a Latino network. And I emailed Veronica, thanked her for her little piece that she shared with us and the network, and congratulations on their party at Mango's. She emailed me back within 2 hours.
Yeah, that's
#1
fantastic.
in the world.
Yeah, that's fantastic. You know, that's the thing is we're all growing together. And by the way, you know, there's so many inspiring people within this group that will help you. So I have a very, very, very big appointment today at 11 o'clock. And I sent 3 chats, one to Dave Kennard, Amy Weaver, and someone else. And I got a response from all 3. And Amy Weaver is going to get on the call at 11 o'clock, which is the president of growth for our Eastern division. Dave Kennard said, I'd love to, but I'll be flying at that time. And Michael Valdez and them are like, we're traveling, sorry. So they were all willing to do it. And I just kind of got 3 people out there to say, okay, out of the 3, who's going to say yes, you know? So utilize your resources within this company and you'll grow. So that was cool that you did that, Kara. And it was great that you got a response back.
I'm not sure you see, Patricia's got her hands up and has had her hand up for a couple minutes.
Yeah, because I'm on my phone. I didn't see it. Go ahead, Patricia. Patricia, thank you for your kind words at the meeting too, by the way. Patricia,
you're welcome.
Diaz,
Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Hello? Uh-oh.
We can hear you. You probably can't hear us.
Way.
Trisha, we can hear you.
We can hear you. Not sure why you haven't joined the running club yet. We can hear you.
You know, I was just thinking about that, and I was like, you know, I need to do that. It's been something, and that's what happens, right? We think about them instead of taking the action, right? Yeah. So I just, good morning, everyone. I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who is on the call, and for your interest in what we all have to say, because everyone has said something phenomenal that I'm writing down, and I actually attended the event. So still things I missed, even though I was there, right? What I did want to share real quickly, and I knew there were a few of you that were really interested in the REO reload track, and specifically speaking to that, and we should all do this in our own business practices anyway, but those people that are going to be vetting you as you get, can you hear me? Those people that are going to be vetting you and giving you those relocation opportunities really need us, most importantly, to be communicative, to be accountable, and to be consistent. And we have to deliver exemplary service, because once you do, they will always come back to you and you won't lose that business. If you choose to do it as a business all in itself, I'm sure there is a way to do that. I'm just getting certified. I have experience in REO, but all of the asset managers, if you just, those three things, just communicative, accountability, and consistent, deliver what they're asking for, you will keep that business for life. So if you don't know that going in, building those relationships initially is really important. Reaching out to the trainers for those reaching out to the trainers that we had at our shareholders is a great way to start. We were able to make introductions with companies that are exclusively working with EXP now. So just keeping all those things in mind, when you meet someone, have a real conversation with them, ask them what their pain points are and address those directly, and they'll give you their business. And I really just wanted to make that quick point. You guys are talking on a lot of other things that I did pick up, but that was one that I wanted to share. And we also have the opportunity to have them come and speak to GPS as a group anytime about those programs. And I think it would be a good idea to invite them to do that, because the training was so short at Shareholders. Maybe we could definitely, I say maybe, but definitely gather more information and what to do's and how to act on it immediately, so that we gain that business while they're rolling this out.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing, Patricia. Guys, it's almost 9:30. Anybody have it? Peter.
Morning. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Hey, I just wanted to really appreciate you guys. Like, this is real estate heaven for me. It's awesome what I hear every day on these calls. Matter of fact, you know what? I could as well just, drove 45 minutes from where I'm just coming back from now without being on this call, but I cannot afford to do so. It helps me every single day when I'm on these calls, just mentally get myself in that space where I'm supposed to be as a real estate agent, especially with EXP. My former brokerage, I never had nothing like this. This is huge for me. I just want to say thank you all for all that you're doing. I'm here every single time. And anytime I'm not here, I'm here in spirit. I definitely want to catch up. So, guys, just a big thank you to y'all. And you don't know the extent of what you're doing right now. You just really don't know. It is more than you think. It's larger than what you can even envisage in your hearts. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Peter, thank you for the kind words. And sometimes the people running the calls or sharing on the calls don't feel the impact until we hear people like you, Peter. So thank you for that. And everything that we do is worthwhile. I learn so much every time I'm on one of these calls from you guys, because the more you share, the more I learn.
Awesome.
Very well said, Peter. All right. And a big thank you to Ali and Nicole for being there and being one of our sponsors in our happy hour. Those of you who got a chance to meet them, I'm sure you connected very well. So George, it's all yours. Tiffany, Joe, thank you guys for everything you do for us. And I will tell you that a lot of the people that I spoke to at this event don't have what the GPS has. So we are very fortunate.